Fernando, Coach Pittman talked about your playing some inside, tackle too, but how do you feel about that? And do you feel like that is something that could help you at the next level?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. It was something that we talked about after the season, and it was kind of something that I kind of wanted for myself too. I've always knew that, at the next level it's probably going to be inside or even possibly right tackle, and I just felt like right now was the perfect time, and with the guys that we brought in, it just felt like everything was right, and it was a perfect storm brewing.
Have you ever snapped the ball? Played center in a game?
No, I have not. So, it's a lot of learning, but, this is what spring is for, to learn, get better, get those mistakes out, and then, when the lights are the brightest, I'll be ready. No, you're all good.
I was going to say, you know something about versatility, linebacker, defensive back. How's it going for you, and how do you feel like the team is back there? Lost a lot of players on defense.
It's going great. Just like Fernando just said, it's the springtime, so we're doing a lot of learning right now. So these are the time we can get our rough patches out the way and just learn from these mistakes.
Fernando, I don't think you snapped any yesterday. Maybe you did early in practice or something?
Yeah, no, I didn't get any in yesterday, but that's just it's been something we've been working on in the off season, and just kind of have it in the bag just in case.
Do you expect to line up at center any today?
Not sure yet. We'll see when we get out there.
You bounced around, Larry, a lot last year. You nickel, a linebacker, finally settled in at safety. Do you feel like that's your best spot right now? And what's the biggest change for you from this time last year to, were you here in the spring?
I wasn't.
You were late. You were April signing, yeah.
I would just say wherever they put me, that's going to be my best spot for one. And I would just say just being comfortable being in the system. So year two going into the system compared to year one, so everything's starting to slow down for me. And I'm just out there having fun now at this point.
Fernando, you ever had a teammate as big as Shaq?
No, man. And let me tell you something about Shaq is he's one of the hardest working guys that, I've been around this summer. And so, or this winter, these winter's workouts. So he's a massive human being, but he also works hard, and he's going to be a great player for us.
Fernando, we talked to Taylor a lot yesterday about just, going into a second year. Obviously for you, you're trying some different positions, but what's different about year two now for you in this offense?
Yeah, just is being comfortable. I could kind of go to practice now, be a little bit more free, be a little bit more vocal as a leader because I know the playbook through and through. And it's just kind of going out there and having fun now, the fundamentals and learning and all that kind of new stuff happened last year, and now it's just out there. Now it's time for me to go out there and just kind of perform and have fun.
What has Corey Robinson brought to this offensive line group in particular?
Man, he's a special talent. He's helped me a lot during these winter workouts. We've been coming in every Saturday together, and he's just been helping me a crap ton on my pass pro. Like, he's really just diligent in the way he thinks and he operates, and so he's brought this veteran presence, and it's been great for the room.
You answer about center. Have you played guard? Like, how much is your experience at guard just before this season, I guess?
Yeah, 0. So I've only played left tackle. I started playing offensive line once I got to college, and I was thrown to left tackle, and that's what I was kind of told I was going to be. And so, moving inside is something new, but I love to learn, and this is just a great opportunity for me to better my game.
What stands out about the differences so far? Like, what has the biggest learning curve maybe been early on?
Yeah, some of the things I need to work on right now are my eyes. But the thing that I love most about playing inside is being able to hit. Everything happens a lot faster, and I feel like that's where I thrive best. Is that physicality, coming off the ball, running off the ball. And at guard, it allows you to do that. At tackle, you got to be a little bit more strategical in how you go about it. And so guards really let me be free and just go out there, hit, and have fun.
Larry, you also got Miguel Mitchell back there in the back end. I mean, just how much can you kind of sense you guys are maybe a little bit ahead of where you've been in the past in the spring because you have two returning guys back there at safety?
I would say we're definitely ahead of schedule just off me and Miguel playing a little bit. Starting with each other at the end of last season, so just bringing that chemistry that we had last year and building on that, we're definitely ahead of schedule and great things coming.
What makes you guys a good combination if you think about your skill sets and everything?
We both can do everything. So if you need a ball player that can go play in the middle of the field, somebody that can come down and hit, cover tight end, cover receiver, we both can do everything. So just being able to move both of us around is very versatile.
I know it's a couple days till you start tackling, but is Braylon Russell a little less scary to tackle since he's lost about 15 pounds this offseason?
Speaking on Braylon has worked very hard this offseason, and he's dropped some weight. He's getting faster, and he looks very well.
Larry, I know you said you'll do whatever position you need to do, but I mean, are you focusing more on just the safety spot this spring, or have y'all talked about, if you're going to do different things in practice?
No, sir. I'm focusing on any position that they put me at. I'm going to be the best at that position.
And Fernando, they brought in a bunch of guys out of the portal, just like last year on offensive line. I'm curious, as a guy that's coming back on the offensive line, when you see these guys pop up on Twitter or when they're maybe visiting, how do you look them up? Like, are you looking up their PFF grades? Are you trying to find film on them? Kind of, what's that like?
Yeah, so it kind of just goes back to, we're in here obviously working out for the bowl games, and I'll just stop by Coach Mateos' office after practice or after lifting, like, hey, who are we looking at? How can I help get them over here? Who can I talk to? And, that's usually when you get the Twitters, the Instagrams. You just DM them, reach out to them, and welcome them with open arms. And so that's kind of how it started, and, I obviously helped Corey on his visit over here, and so, I really wanted to be a part of bringing all these guys in.
Larry, Quintavious Kendrick and Caleb Wooden, kind of guys on the back end there, how do you think they're coming along? I know it's one practice, but also you feel like they're fitting in pretty well, though?
I would say just out one practice, they showed tremendous growth. And they have shown they look very good back there, and they look comfortable already, more comfortable than I did day one coming in. I would say that for sure. So they look very well, and I'm expecting big things for both of those guys.
Wooden started at Auburn, so he's got a lot of not just experience, but SEC experience. How valuable is that?
That's super valuable because it's different playing in this conference, So for somebody that already have experience, so he kind of already can relate to what we're going to have to go through, and he already knows. But Q, even though he doesn't have any SEC experience, he has experience as well, so I'm not doubting him at all. I know he'll come in and perform.
Fernando, those signed a lot of kids out there. I know Andrew kind of hit on this, but do you feel like those guys have got a chance to come in and contribute make an impact pretty quick? New players?
Yeah, this is what spring is for. We're trying to figure out who is our best five, and, we brought in a bunch of dudes that can play, in fall. So, we got a lot of transfers that are really good. Shaq, Corey, Caden. I'm missing a few names. Kavion's really good. And so, this is kind of what you want as a player returning, is you want that competition to elevate the room. And, that's exactly what we got.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. It seemed like last year the depth on the offensive line wasn't as strong. It's almost like, I know you guys had to compete, but it almost seemed like you go here, Addison, you go here, and Keyshawn, you go here. But this year, do you feel like it's more wide open as far as competition goes?
Most definitely. Everybody in the room knows what's going on, and we realize, the best five are going to play. And, we have, I feel like, 9 guys that could go out there and be the starting five. And so, it adds to practice, it adds to the meeting rooms, and, we kind of knew that was going to happen, and that's what we all wanted.
And I wanted to ask you a little bit different position, but secondary. How is it Davila? Is that how you say it? Keyshawn, and Kenai?
Yes,
Walker. Yeah, just those guys specifically. What have they brought to the table? What can you see for them in their future?
They've brought some very good presence on that outside. They both can play a lot of good man coverage. We wanted to bring in some more speed. And those guys they're blazing for sure. So they brought that into the room, and I can't wait to see these boys perform.
Fernando, Sam has talked about, shuffling some guys around at the offensive line, kind of following up on Trey. Is there like a schedule, like days, weeks in advance of when you guys are going to, work out at certain positions, whether it's guard or tackle? Is it day by day? How does that kind of shuffle and making the schedule, of where you guys are working out?
Yeah, it's kind of day by day. At the end of the day, it's all up to the coaches, and we have all the utmost confidence in, what they're doing. And so, we're just kind of going day by day, whatever they say, and wherever they want me to play, wherever they want other people to play, we're all willing to kind of shuffle around and see what's best for the O-line.
I know it's only been one day of practice, but I'm curious for both of you guys, any freshmen really stood out in the off-season workouts? A couple of guys maybe that come to mind.
One of them I would say off the first thing I seen was Tavion Wallace, the linebacker they brought in. And it's just the edge that he brings. He works like he's a walk-on. So if that's after practice, before practice, he just always has that edge and that drive to keep going. And I'm expecting very big things for that guy.
Yeah, there's 2 people that I have in mind. Cash, He came in, he's playing center, and, just kind of what coach has thrown on him instantly, and he's just kind of absorbing everything, and he's putting it out there on the field. He's doing really good, and it's really cool to see him grow. And then Madden, that guy, he is dialed in every single rep, even if he's not in. He's behind the quarterback taking reps, throwing to air. And so, he's going to be a really good quarterback for Arkansas one day, and I'm excited for him.
Fernando, Taylor was in here yesterday and talked a little bit about kind of at the end of the season when he visited with Petrino for an exit interview, kind of talking about how last season went and looking at that. For the offensive linemen, how much did you talk to Coach Mateos at the end of the season, about whether it was your own performance or the offensive line as a whole? What was that kind of exit interview process like when you looked back on the season?
Yeah, we looked back and we knew that, we had so much more left. And we could have done so much more. And, even watching the film and just kind of talking about last season, there were so many opportunities for us as the offensive line to step up and have these big games. And we just kind of missed the mark sometimes. And so it was more so, we're going to come back. We're going to get back to the drawing board, go back from day one and just build this all over again. And, it's definitely something that we're going to grow on and get better on.
Fernando, was there ever a conversation about whether or not you would come back, or did you always know that you were coming back this year?
Yeah, I was not satisfied with my performance last year. I kind of knew that I wanted to come back, and I knew I wanted to be here for sure. Obviously, with Mateos and Coach Pittman, they've helped my game grow. I never knew I could grow as much as I had in that 1 year, and so I knew I wanted that second year to kind of even elevate my game that much more and just take in all that information before taking that next step to the next level.
And when it comes to moving inside, I know we talked about this a little bit already, but did you go to Coach Pittman and talk about it, or Coach Mateos, or they come to you and suggest it? Kind of, how did that all go down?
Yeah, it was kind of mutual. I kind of already had it in my mind going into the meeting, and then they kind of brought it up. They were seeing this, and they heard this from the scouts, and so it was kind of mutual from both sides. And it was like, let's do it. And we found a great tackle in Corey, and I'm excited to ride.
You said you were working on center stuff kind of in the off season. Does that mean you're snapping with the other centers? Are you getting with Talon and snapping to him? Kind of what does that look like?
Yeah, I'm snapping to everybody. We're just kind of getting my snaps going. Obviously, learning all the calls that the centers have to make. I just want to be very versatile. Wherever they need me, I'm going to fit in, and I'm going to be ready to play wherever.
Last go round, obviously for both of you guys, is there any change in mentality knowing this is your last spring in college, your last season coming up? Anything that you approach differently than you might have in the past?
One thing I would definitely say that I approach different and just have fun in every moment that I'm in and just soak everything up. I don't know how many more meetings I'm going to get with you guys. So just having fun in everything that I do. And I would just say just spreading information to the younger guys and just let them know how fast the time do come.
Yeah, I kind of same thing, man. Just being grateful for, all the health I've had leading up to this point, and then obviously this being my last ride. I just want to, show the younger guys, even during these dog days of spring ball or fall camp, you only get this opportunity once in your life, and you got to seize the moment. And if not, it'll fly past you. And, these 5 years have gone by really fast, and so I'm just trying to take it all in and, express my joy for the game onto the young guys, because letting them know, like you said, it goes by really fast.
And you're soaking up your time with us also.
Oh, most definitely. You guys are the best. This is the best part of the day right here.
Larry, you changed your number this year.
Yes, sir.
What was the reason behind that?
I had this number previously before I came here at Jacksonville State, and I had my best year in 3. And also, I'm the third, so I'm Larry Worth the third. So that's the reason that I always been 3. Yeah. So just going back to my roots.